And we are live, in theory. Welcome to the Cade Climate Jam Awards show. Super excited to have you all here today. Let me get an audio check from someone really quick. Whoever's watching Twitch right now, confirm that this stream is going.
All good.
All good? All good. Oh, this is great, guys. Alrighty, we had 134 people from around the world join to make 24 games this year based on this year's theme of empathy and equilibrium. Huge thanks to Cade, Game for Our Future, Earth Lab at the University of Washington, the Knight Foundation, the IGDA Climate Special Interest Group, Niantic, Ronde, and We Save the World. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get into this. First up, our very first honorable mention is, drumroll please, Bluebell Town. So what I'm going to do during this awards show is we're all going to watch their awesome trailer. So we can all watch that. And if we have the devs here, I would love to have you speak after this rolls. So let's let it go. All right. Do we have the developers behind Bluebell Town here?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell us more.
Yes, so Bluebell Town is a small strategy management game, and the player is a mayor of a medium city, and they have the ability to accept or reject proposals. The inspiration of this game was actually from the political environment where I live, which is the north of Italy. And here we tend to make innovations to improve the climate, but not everything is well met by the people. So it made me think that maybe we need a little bit of balance between trying to find, helping the environment and pushing people sometimes too quickly out of their comfort zones. So with this game, as the designer, I thought that I wanted the player to think the right way to actually find the win condition, which is to help the environment, but also realize that there are some needs that need to be met, and the city doesn't have limited money. So with the theme where we chose for the game is the theme of equilibrium. So you need to find a balance between keeping it real, and also your main goal, which is helping the environment. And I don't know if our musician wants to say something about the music.
Just really quick, always fun to work with Kiara. Wonderful game concept, wonderful art, and always nice writing some ambient music. So thank you guys.
Thank you both so much, and congratulations on their honorable
Thank you.
mention. Yeah. All right. Next up, drum roll, please. Brrr. We have Changewalker. Do we have? Let's check out that trailer really quick, and then we'd love to have the developers talk if you all are here. So 1 second. All right. I got to figure out how to click away fast enough so you guys can't see all my SNL videos I watched. That was Changewalker, and it was fantastic. Are the developers here to talk with us? Maybe? All right. I guess not. All right. We're going to keep going. That was really, loved all the comments in chat about the hairstyles, the cute art, the cute music. Everything about that is really fantastic. All right. Next up, we have, drumroll please. We have honorable mention for Ecolibrium. All right. Let's get that up. And then we'll let it roll. All right. Do we have the Equilibrium devs here to talk? Anyone? All right. I'm super excited. Like, loving all of the awesome visuals, the great music. These are just stellar results of a game jam. Next up, we have, drum roll please, we have Green City 2050 as another honorable mention. And we have a video for this one too. Let me get that rolling.
Hi, my name is Joe Lasco, and this game is Green City 2050. So there are a couple of big ideas that I wanted to get across in this game, which is mainly centered around climate optimism. The first one is that there are a lot of green technologies and innovations that are in progress right now, leading towards a more sustainable future, and that's reason to be optimistic. And that's represented by the cards. And there's a deck of 72 cards. Each card represents a different technology under a few different areas. Part of that is inspired by the areas that Bill Gates identifies, things like transportation, building, manufacturing, electricity, agriculture, and so on. And so the second part of what I wanted to communicate is that once we do reach a sustainable future, that our cities will actually be pretty great places to live. And so that's represented by the skyline at the top. It starts out as kind of a bland, gray, monotonous skyline. And as you reach critical mass in each of these areas, parts of your city will get more greener and more beautiful and just happier places. And so, how the gameplay works, each turn, which represents a year, you're going to assign beakers or scientific research to the cards that you're interested in. And each one of these beakers is worth 0 to 5 points. And once you reach the value listed on the card, you will win that card, and then that value is added to the top. So let's try and research geothermal. I click on that, and unfortunately I didn't make any progress on that. That's the nature of innovation. And let's try smart traffic lights. Okay, I got 1 point for that. You can just do 1 beaker per card per turn, and then when I hit end turn, the other ones get discarded, and you can see this pawn moved across to the next card. That pawn is the conservative. The conservative basically gets in your way. You can't interact with the card that that pawn is on top of for that turn, and it moves 1 every turn. So we can try robot forestry. I got 2 there. Let's see if we can finish smart traffic lights. And you can see that we won that, and that value is added to the top here. And when one of the tiles reaches 10 points, that gets upgraded to the shinier, happier version of the city. And so that's basically the game. You have until the year 2050 to try and upgrade your city. The score gets added once every 5 years when there's sort of a climate event. So you want to make sure that you're trying to finish your technologies by those 5-minute or 5-year milestones. That's it. Give it a try, and thanks a lot for playing.
All right. Do we have the developer for Green City 2050 here?
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
So I've continued to iterate on the design and the graphics and the gameplay and all that. So I can just drop a screenshot of the current in progress design if anyone's curious. But yeah, I think the trickiest part of designing this was coming up with something simple that also kind of covered the very wide spectrum of, building up a city and also having all these technologies. So I think it's gradually coming together, and hopefully it'll have something more playable in a few weeks. So yeah.
That's awesome. And we have some some strong feelings in chat about the conservative as a blocking mechanism. That's that's pretty great. What inspired
Yeah, I
you?
think. Yeah, I mean, I think with a climate game, it's kind of hard to come up with like a real conflict. And I think the most natural conflict is just that, going up against the status quo, whether it's, industry influence or things like that. And I think the most obvious villain in this kind of story is that conservative, voice, conservative media, things like that. So, and then having the little meeple, I think is kind of cool because it's a card slash board game. So, yeah, that's kind of like a fun little a bit of conflict there.
Well, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. We have one more honorable mention to share. I don't have a video for this one, unfortunately, but I do think we have the speaker. So big congratulations to the Flora for our last honorable mention. Do we have the developer here?
Yes, we're both here.
Awesome. Can you all talk with us about this experience that you all made?
Yeah, so the Flora is a non-digital game. You can play it as a single player or a multiplayer up to 6 people. And it's more of a meditative, structured, freeform game where you play as a long-lived plant uh, in a particular place that you, as a player or players, develop what that place is. You have a map, and it's very much their history with their human caretakers over a very long time. And this includes, also their sort of fauna friends, their flora friends around them, and the effects of the human-shaped world and climate change.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that was exciting about it was a chance to get people to kind of think about uh, the the relationship that they have with nature around them all the time. Like there's sometimes this idea that nature is out there, it's around us a lot, and our connection with it and how we relate to it. Um, so it was a lot of fun, and yeah, we made a role playing game where folks can be a tree or a long lived shrub.
Was there any like particular inspiration outside? Like, what did you draw on for this?
So
Well, it
you go.
does draw on. It does draw on two non-digital games, the Skeletons and Artifact, which Artifact is a hack of the Skeletons. So in the Skeletons, you play as skeletons in a tomb. In Artifact, you are a weapon which passes through the hands of many heroes. But besides that, um, Casey has read this book, Feeling for the Organism. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so it's a great sort of history of science written by Evelyn Fox Keller, talking about Barbara McClintock, who kind of pioneered the study of DNA and was looking at corn. And largely in her field, people thought she was bonkers because of the way she talked about the relationship that you can form with the lived world around you. And so there are a few quotes related to that in the text of Flora.
That is awesome. That is real. Like, what a. These have all been such phenomenal examples of like of just empathy and relating to lots of different organisms and equilibrium across ecosystems. So, thank you all very, very much for sharing. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, similar to the previous game, like who is the bad guy and all of these things. Our last set of caretakers is the destitute, the landlord, and the developer, which we hope really points to capitalism as the bad guy in this, and that none of these caretakers would be this way or would affect the Flora this way if it weren't for capitalism presence in our life.
Gotcha. Totally fair. Anything else you guys want to add? Are we good?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations. All right. We have now exited our honorable mentions and we are getting into our first category of most educational. So for this year, our most educational winner was E.A.R.T.H, E.A.R.T.H, Environmental Action Research Training Headquarters. Let me roll this video for you guys.
Welcome to the Environmental Action Research Training Headquarters, or as we like to call it, EARTH. There are a few different training modules for you to experience from the main menu. Once the level has started, pull down on the handle and release it to give it a spin. Technology upgrades are a vital part of EARTH, strategically planned for optimal success. Landing on a renewable square will provide Earth resources, while landing on a fossil fuel will take away Earth resources. Landing on a choice square will present you with a true or false question. Depending on your answer, you will gain or lose Earth resources. Using this information, it is imperative you upgrade properly, move swiftly, and most importantly, try to prevent waste at all costs. At the end of every level, you will be given a breakdown on how well you did overall. Enter your initials to track and compare against other members of EARTH. Thank you for visiting EARTH. We hope you will return soon.
All right. Do we have the developers of EARTH here?
Yes, I am here. Thank you, Megan.
Welcome back, Joe.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Grieve. I'm the developer of Earth. E.A.R.T.H, that is.
Yeah, tell us
Earth
about.
was created. Yeah, for sure. Earth was created by my partner, Mare Unite, and myself. We initially wanted to build something that was similar to the board game Social Determinants of Health, also known as The Last Straw. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but for climate change instead. So, needing to keep it smaller in scope because we had such a limited time to work on it, we decided to focus on the educational aspects of the game. The goal very quickly turned into delivering accurate, truthful information about climate change and climate justice. Oh, also a huge shout out and big thanks to all the mentors and everybody for supplying just loads and loads of accurate information all throughout the Discord. That was super helpful. Mary Unite, she was responsible for the original idea and the voice acting in the trailer, and I did basically everything else.
I do need to know though, would planting enough trees theoretically cure climate change? I saw that last one. What's the answer?
You'll have to play to find out.
Oh, wow, that was smooth.
Great TF question.
Well, congratulations on being the most educational. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Not really. Just thanks again to all the mentors and everybody and all the staff and everybody for setting everything up. Really appreciate it. Maybe one day we'll turn this into a physical board game. I think that would be a really cool next step, but we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you and congratulations. And thanks for participating again. Like, that's really exciting. Alrighty. So next up, we have our most adventurous. And this is a really exciting one. Give it up for Song of the Soil. I'm going to play the trailer. Oh my gosh. So cool. All right. Do we have Henry here and your team?
Hey, thank you so much for the award. It's yeah, it's amazing to be. Yeah, we weren't expecting it at all. I believe we've got so it was a team of 5 of us. So myself, Rebecca Peterson, Sasha Holschneider, Marie LeBlanc Flanagan, and Ashley Cho. And yeah, it was a really amazing experience. It's personally my first game jam, so it's incredible to get, yeah, it was really lovely. The game is a kind of short audio-visual point-and-click puzzle game, and it's inspired by regenerative farming and some kind of leading plant science research from the John Innes Center. So it's kind of based on the fact that plants, through their roots, can kind of communicate with microorganisms and then together kind of thrive and work together. And this is great when you're growing food, like crops, because it means that the crops can then be more resilient to climate change, and also the way of farming that promotes this also allows you to kind of cut emissions, sequester carbon into the soil, regenerate the environment, as well as also like still grow loads of food. But the issue is that from like intensive farming and from breeding our crops for that in mind, the crops have kind of forgotten how to do this. They're not really very good at it anymore. And the research for the John Innes Center was looking at how to bring that back. And I kind of took that research and thought, okay, it's a bit like the plants have lost their voice. You know, that they used to be able to sing this song, and really that's the idea of the game. And then, you know, I brought that to the team, and we just all kind of worked together to then try and turn that into an experience which was based on science, but hopefully can generate a kind of emotional response to, you know, the microscopic world of the soil, and we're kind of hoping that would make people maybe care for it.
That's just fabulous. Do we have anyone else on the team who wants to add anything too? Okay, that's a no. Henry, is there anything else you'd like to add about this experience?
Hoping to maybe work a little bit more on it, or work again as a team. But mainly, yeah, it's just been such a lovely experience. So I want to thank the organizers, everyone who's been in it, and it's just wonderful, and well done to everyone else. There's been some really incredible games, so I think we should all be proud. Thank you.
Absolutely. And congratulations to you and your team on Most Adventurous. All right. We have 2 more awards left to go. Our next one up is the Knight Foundation Grand Challenge on Disinformation. And the big winner there this year is Denial Network. Let me share that with you all. All right. Do we have the developers here for the Denial Network game?
Hello, yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. All right. I want more of an
Hello.
explanation. Can you share more about the game?
So I can talk about more. Uh, the Denial Network is a puzzle game that tries to simulate public opinion about climate change. It is like the struggle between the two sides, in which side there are the misinformers and disinformers, and the other side there is the activist, the people who cares about climate change. The board
I lost you.
is like
There we go.
the,
Okay.
I imagine the board like the public opinion. So, I mean, it's kind of inspired from the Reddit's R-Place.
Gotcha. Who all was on your team?
I developed it alone. I'm a programmer, so there is no fancy graphics, unfortunately.
That's fantastic, though. Congratulations. And like our chat
Thank you.
says, disinformation is a mess that needs to be constantly cleaned up.
Oh yeah, you're definitely correct, right about it.
Yeah. What else inspired you to make this particular experience?
I mean, I think it inspired me because there's also misinformation about a lot of things instead of climate change. So I wanted to focus on that area of climate change.
Understood. Yeah, it works beautifully with the climate jam this year and everything. Is there anything else you want to share about the game with everyone here?
I think that's it. Thank you everyone for the effort and playing the game.
Awesome. Well, thank you and congratulations. I would say to you and your team, but just congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Nice
Thank
going.
you.
All right. We have one last big award to give out, and our grand jury award for this year's the Cade Climate Jam is Row. So let's check out the video together.
So way back in December-ish, my friend Ben, an avid rower and programmer, called his brother Jay and I, less avid rowers but more avid filmmakers, up and wanted to collaborate on making a rowing game. And Ben showed us a prototype. It was a 3D rowboat gliding along sparkling blue waters against crystal clear skies. But where was the story, the theatrics, the whole shebang, Jay and I asked. This is too utopic. Let's make it dystopic. Let's make it more like our current world where not everyone can row on sparkling blue waters against crystal clear skies. So I dragged in my friend and pixel art aficionado Andrea to visually bring this dystopia to life, and Ben dragged in David, practically the next Koji Kondo, to infuse this dystopia with musical gloom, and Jonathan, programming whiz, to power through all-nighters with. And together, we made Row. Row makes you aware of water scarcity due to the mismatch between supply and demand. We meet you, Mio, a member of the Maya Republic who's dealing with the deadly consequences of water shortage due to overconsumption in the enemy territory of Westlake. As you save your republic from drought, your wildest dream comes true. Rain! Or is that a storm? No, it's a deadly flood. How will you possibly survive? Who will you save? Who will you kill? Is this the end of the world? Row's gameplay develops systematic knowledge by experimenting with pro and antisocial interactions, and through this trial and error process, re-examines attitudes towards the environmental impacts of consumerism, misinformation due to social and physical borders, and perceived enemies. As you build social trust with other characters, you'll also build synergy as a rower and progress further through the ebbs and flows of a dystopian wasteland, with the ultimate goal of understanding that it's only through cooperation with foes and allies alike that we can be agents of environmental change. Above all, we hope Row will float your boat, celebrate the planet, make you say, holy ship. Yeah, that's all I got. It's about time you check out Row, and we can't wait to unveil it at this year's Cade, so see you there.
Hey Darwin, how sleep deprived am I? Angela, how sleep deprived am I?
No, Brittany hasn't been sleeping. Brittany had COVID.
Ben had COVID?
Ben had COVID. She had the fleas. She had... she had a fever.
We the game.
Against everything. I thought they were dying.
Thanks for the emotional support.
Oh my god, that was so good. Do we hopefully we have some of the team members from Row here and that they're still alive.
Hi, yes, we're still alive.
Great.
I think quickly, we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Ben. I'm a software engineering student at the University of Waterloo.
I'm Brittany. I'm currently a film and data science student at New York University. And we also have Andrea, who is our amazing artist, who's a U of T civil engineering student back in Toronto alongside Ben and the rest of the crew.
Please tell me you all have gotten sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing much better now. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Please tell us more.
Wait, we have a couple more people on the call as well. I'll just quickly mention David. He's a music student at the University of Toronto. Yeah, I'm Jay and Jonathan. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jonathan. I'm a computer engineering student, also at the University of Waterloo, like Ben.
Jay. Anyways, Jay's studying film at the University of Southern California. Yeah. So I think, sorry, what was your first question, Megan?
Tell us about Row.
Yeah, so I think the video explains the basics pretty well. It's a narrative RPG taking place in a climate dystopia. Basically you get stuck in the same boat as your enemy, literally, and you have to build trust with them. And so really what we wanted to do was tell a compelling story about building trust with your enemy. And I think for our game, in terms of spurring action towards climate change, we really wanted to tap into realism and an emotional connection. And so in terms of realism, we tried to depict a situation that we could see ourselves maybe 30 years down the line, see conflicts over water being a very real thing that could happen in our lifetimes, but then also realistically depicting the full humanity of the characters and the complexity of the characters. So where good and bad and there's lots of intersecting motivations, and the good and bad is less clear, because I think that's the sort of more human. As well, in terms of emotional connection, we really wanted to get that through the art, the music, the cutscenes, the dialogue, and so that helps you connect with the story and with the characters. Brittany put it a really great way, which is all of us were trying to do storytelling in our various mediums, whether that's through the writing or through or through the music or the art. Yeah, and I guess one thing I can talk about in particular, because I'm the rower here, why rowing? I think even storytelling with that mechanic, how the boat moves is a reflection of your relationship with the person in the boat. So when you're playing the game, you have to trust that the other, your enemy, will follow you, and so you can't be constantly trying to anticipate where they're going. You just have to be in time, and then they will follow. And so that's the only way that you can move faster and the boat will be more connected. Yeah, and ideally, if we develop the game further, we'd lean into this mechanic even more, add more nuance to it. How the dialogue, changes will affect the boat, and how your relationship is with the other character will be reflected in how the boat moves. Yeah, Brittany, do you have anything to add?
We were inspired definitely by other indie game developers. You'll probably, I guess, notice with the whole trying to understand your enemy Undertale, and how you have to kind of get an understanding of your enemy in order to defeat them, but not to violently, not to disseminate them, but more to become friends with them and build trust with them. And that's the only way to survive and really beat the game. So we're so honored to win this, and I think it's our first game jam for all of us. So definitely was a great experience to collaborate with people from like various disciplines. Um, and I've never really worked with software engineers and composers and done all of the collaborative work, especially with Ben and I in the conditions we were in. So I was really happy with the end product. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
incredible. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, we did both get COVID. I was in New York staying with Brittany, and then we got sick. But like that was at the start of the jam. But in some ways that was a blessing because we were in isolation and could just work on it the whole time. Um, I'll say Jay's piece as well because he just texted me. He said his mic isn't working. Um, and I guess in Toronto the power went out and his computer just died, and so it's a bit of a mess. He sends his regards. Um, the process of developing the story, uh, the story for the game, sort of the concept was there before the game jam. He was taking a narrative design class with Danny Bilson at the School of Cinematic Arts this past winter, and so for that he had to like write a whole like game narrative. And so when we saw when we saw that the jam was released, like the themes, we realized it really like fit with many of like the themes, like the broad theme and the sub themes of the game jam. So we thought it'd be a really great opportunity to actually like pull something together um, and make this game. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again to all of our winners. We had Bluebell Town, Change Waker, Ecolibrium, Green City 2050, and the Flora. And then we had Earth as most educational. We had Song of the Soil as most adventurous. And we had Denial Network win the Knight Foundation Grand Challenge about disinformation. And Roe won the Grand Jury Award. But wait, there's more. Stay tuned because pretty soon we're going to have show and tell. We have about 18 different games that will be presented here. And so please stay tuned. Like, we have more coming, and we're super, super excited to celebrate everyone who participated in this Cade Climate Jam for this year for empathy and equilibrium. I'm Megan. I am a streamer at Eco-Friendly-ish. I focus on climate change and environmental games. Thank you all so much. It's been an honor to get to introduce all of these fantastic developers. And stay tuned.